What am I, beautiful black people? Welcome to Black People Politics Network. I'm Mr. Red. Let's talk about America today, a country that says it's the land of the free and the home of the brave. But somehow, freedom looks like your kids doing an active shooter drill every other week. I mean, shit, we can't go anywhere without worrying about whether we're safe or not. Here's the cycle. Another mass shooting happens, always the same profile. It's always an angry young white man. And what do Republicans do? They never take responsibility for this shit. Not once. Instead, they dust off the same tired excuses.
Launching studies on the potential contribution of some of the SSRI drugs and some of the other psychiatric drugs that might be contributing to violence.
It is not anything else but the weapons. That is what the problem is. The access to weapons, the access to weapons, the access to weapons is the problem.
Until America deals with the white male alt-right lone wolf domestic terrorism problem that we have in this country, we will continue to see mass shootings. It is not normal to have anxiety going into a movie theater, going into a mall, going into a grocery store. It's not normal for our children to do shooting drills.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers is the thing that they say. Thoughts and goddamn prayers. Let me tell you something. Democrats have tried to pass the laws that most people want. Most people want universal background checks. Most people want gun safety laws. Even though that doesn't mean you're going to take your gun rights away. It just means that we need to keep the guns out of the hands of the people who are going to do the most damage. That's pretty much it. I mean, literally, you have to get a driver's license to drive a car to prove that you're safe enough to operate a vehicle. Yet we don't have laws in place that say, hey, you have to be responsible in order to handle a gun. Republicans want to make you think that it's someone else's fault why these gun things happen. It's video games, it's rock music, it's mental health, but never ever the damn guns. And truth is, guns are easier to get than baby formula is in this country. It's easier to buy than insulin. Easier to walk into a store and walk out with a weapon of war than it is to get a job that pays a living wage. That's not freedom. That's a damn setup. And I, for one, I'm tired of that shit, aren't you? And here's what they won't say out loud. If black kids or Latino kids were pulling mass shooters every other week, especially if it was on white folk, oh my God, they would lose their mind on Fox News. The laws would change instantly, and right now Trump would have people all in the streets. I mean, he's already got the military going to cities, but I mean, he would be justified in doing so in his puny mind. If this was happening, they would have banned guns like 20 years ago. The only reason they're quiet now is because the shooters look like their sons, their nephews, their neighbors. The people that voted them into office is the demographic that's pulling this shit off. And they never want to anger those people off, except now they really just don't give a damn. They don't have to act like thoughts and prayers. They don't have to act like thoughts and prayers. Hell, I'd be surprised if I see any of them on TV talking about, this is tragic and we're going to do something about it. No. Thoughts and prayers. That's it. Now shut the hell up and allow us to continue to pump guns on the street so you all can kill each other. You filthy animals. We don't give a shit about y'all.
Why is it every single time something happens and it is right in your face what the problem is? The fact that an individual had such access to the weapon period and was able to just wally all through America with the weapon, right? That is what the problem is. These things shouldn't be sold.
Did I just hear this on Fox News?
And the only way to stop it is to identify the shooter ahead of time or keep the weapons out of their hands. And so we're going to have a conversation of freedom versus protecting children. I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation about keeping firearms out? It's always a young white male.
And the press is complicit in this because instead of calling out the issue at hand, which is domestic terrorism, you're shoving mics into children's faces who are exhibiting signs of shock because they just went through a defining moment in their childhood that is going to create such anxiety for the rest of their lives.
And people are calling this out. It's always the same demographic. The Republicans are brand new every time. Meanwhile, communities of color are over-policed, locked up, harassed, and blamed for crime rates we don't even commit. And still, they have the nerve to push this law and order nonsense while ignoring the chaos that their own policies create. And then you got Trump himself, chiming in like he's got a goddamn clue, talking about how he's going to fix everything while ignoring the fact that he didn't lift a finger while he was in office. This is the same man that promised that he would make America great, but all he did was make it more violent, more divided, and more dangerous. Now let's shift gears. America loves to call itself the land of freedom, but here's what freedom looks like in America today, in Trump's America. A man burns a flag, his First Amendment right, and whether you like it or not, and suddenly he's in handcuffs. Meanwhile, thousands stormed the Capitol on January 6th, beat cops, threatened politicians, and tried to overthrow the government. And a whole lot of them, they walked free. But Trump even pardoned these people.
The Secret Service is currently detaining Jay Carey. He's a 20-year Army veteran, combat veteran, who just burnt a flag in front of the White House in protest of Donald Trump's executive order prohibiting the burning of flags.
My name is Jay Carey. I'm a retired disabled combat veteran, serving over 20 years in the United States Army. I fought for every single one of your rights to express yourself and however you feel that you may want to express yourself. There's a First Amendment right to burn the American flag. The Lord Jesus in that house right there signed an executive order today saying that it was illegal to burn the American flag. No president can make a law, period. No Congress will make a law infringing on First Amendment rights. I'm burning this flag as a protest to that illegal fascist president that sits in that house. Do this for every single one of you American citizens. We burn this flag in protest to that president who feels that it's his right to do whatever he wants, make whatever law he wants. That President Trump put forward today. According to that executive order, I should be in prison right now serving 1 year.
I want you to explain that to me. Explain how a man can go to jail for burning the flag, but the people that were trying to overthrow democracy are out walking free. It doesn't make sense, does it? Only in the Trump America it does.
I would have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States. If I think our country's in danger, and it is in danger in these cities, I can do it.
You see, freedom in this country isn't universal, it's conditional. If you're black, you're brown, if you're poor, they'll remind you real quick that rights don't apply the same to you as it does to the people or propping up that they like. But if you're white and draped in a MAGA flag, suddenly there's grace. Suddenly there's excuses. Suddenly it's boys being boys.
So let me see if I got this right. You can't burn a flag. If you do, you will go to prison for a year. Full term you got to serve. But if you storm the Capitol, beat cops with flags, unalive a couple of them, hunt down government officials, including the vice president, you get a full pardon and a government job? Come on, man. It ain't enough weed to make any of this make sense.
America will spend billions locking up petty offenders, but won't spend a dime addressing white domestic terrorism. They'll make up laws to criminalize us, but when it's their sons causing the chaos, suddenly it's mental health. Nah, it's racial, it's hypocrisy, and it's killing this country. And while this chaos reigns, what's Trump doing himself? Nothing, less than nothing. Trump gets on stage and says, I have the power to do anything. But what has he done? He can't fix grocery prices. He can't fix health care. He can't fix anything for the people who swore he'd fight for them. Yet he wants to be king. See, again, it was never about you, MAGA. It was about the work that he was sent to do on behalf of the elites, to basically allow them the ability to gut this country and to change it into something that's going to be way far terrible than having a few black and brown people living next to you.
The average American worker has already seen a $500 wage increase this year, and there's no inflation.
presidency has been one long con job. He made promises to the forgotten man and woman only to forget them the moment he got back in the office, because it was never about them. He wanted to get in place and lock in power for the next foreseeable future. Black folks warned y'all, and now these prices are out of control, and Trump doesn't have the intelligence to fix this shit. He only has the mouthpiece to make you continue to be in your feelings. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about any of us.
I've heard President Trump say more than once that he has lowered drug prices by 1,500%. I'm not sure how that works. And the other is, can you tell me what specific bills we've passed or worked on that would lower grocery prices?
Yeah, you're talking about things relative to state level. And so you're mixing federal and state.
Ma'am, he couldn't tell you because the legislation doesn't fucking exist. And that's a good question. How in the fuck does that work? The drug price is dropping by 1,500%. I know he couldn't give you an answer for that one either because, you know, surprise, surprise, that's not how the shit actually fucking works.
I am at the Walmart in Rochester, Indiana. The 38.2 ounce coffee, Maxwell House, is $21.44. And I looked back, and in October of last year, so almost a year ago, I paid $12 and some odd cents. I mean, if you think tariffs or inflation or something's not increasing the costs, you're messed up in the head.
You see the game now? He talks big, but delivers small. And the people who bought into his dream are still broke. They're still struggling, and they're still waiting for the greatness of America that he promised. No matter what they say, no matter how much they want to own the libs, no matter how much they make you think that this is exactly what they wanted, it's a lie. And if you thought his chaos ended at the economy, nah. He said, hold my beer. He went after science too. You remember the pandemic? People dying in the thousands? Families ripped apart? Well, now his people are gutting the CDC, pulling the rug out from under the very institutions that were meant to protect us. And I think recently you had a bunch of people at the CDC just up and resign because of the direction that it's going. You know what's going to happen now. You know what comes with that. More death, more confusion, and more chaos. That's not a plan. That's reckless endangerment of all of our lives.
Holy cow, folks, this is huge news that everybody in the United States needs to know about, so you need to share this information widely because it could impact your health. Did you know that the CDC quietly pared down its food safety monitoring 2 months ago? Because of funding cuts, FoodNet, which is the federal food safety system that normally monitors for different germs, had to pare down the 8 that they routinely monitor. They're paring it down to just 2 germs that they're actively looking for at the federal level. So right now they're only looking for salmonella and Shiga toxin producing E. coli. Before, they were looking at Campylobacter, Cyclospora, Listeria, Shigella, Vibrio, and Yersinia. Those aren't harmless pathogens. Those all can cause severe disease and potentially kill people, and they don't have enough funding now to be able to alert people about these various pathogens, and it's going to rely on state-level food safety systems in order to be able to identify these issues.
I think we're in trouble.
I need them people in Michigan that was trying to vote against Kamala. I need y'all to come to the front because Jill Stein is back in the news. How is this woman back in the news again? See, she's been quiet through all of this chaos. Once Trump won, you didn't hear a peep from Jill Stein. And now all of a sudden, she's popping back up as we start talking about midterms. This is the same Jill Stein who played spoiler in 2016 with ties to Russia, showing up at the table with Putin, a plant, plain and simple, dusted off for another distraction campaign.
Do you know how I know that Republicans are absolutely terrified of what could potentially happen during the midterms? It's because Jill Stein has started tweeting again. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much been radio silence for, almost 8 months now. And all of a sudden now Russia puts out the word, oh no, Jill, get back out there and do some damage control. Try to push ranked choice voting. Even though there's no direct path for us to get there at all for any of these elections. Gerrymandering is bad. They could upset the balance. Republicans and Democrats are the same thing.
And you all who thought that she was the way, that just because she speaks flowery and she looks like a calm, innocent white woman, that woman has caused more destruction to this nation. She is working for the opposition. And speaking of Russia, remember how the DOJ exposed that Russia literally paid right-wing influencers to spread propaganda? Did you know about that?
An indictment was filed last year that said that well-known right-wing personalities, including Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson, were secretly funded by Russian state media employees to churn out English-language videos that were, quote, often consistent with the Kremlin's, quote, interest in amplifying U.S. domestic divisions in order to weaken U.S. opposition to Russian interests, like the current war in Ukraine.
And when people tried to protest his failures, what happened? A man burns a flag to make his point, exercising his right, he gets crushed. That's America under Trump, punishing the truth tellers and protecting the liars, protecting the people coming after America. I didn't serve for that bullshit. Now, right now you're thinking, holy cow, Mr. Red, there's a bunch of bad news, and the news is always bad, but I have something to tell you about. Because even through this mess, people are standing up. In Missouri, folks are cussing out their GOP reps to their face, saying enough is enough.
You need to take your head out of Trump's and start doing your representation of us. I would appreciate you taking your father's U.S. Constitution book, read it, study it, make your own lines underneath it, and get Trump out of office. The man is a dictator. He knows nothing about what he talks about.
Meanwhile, in Maine, they're booing Susan Collins. Yes, the Susan Collins who's always like, but I don't agree, but, she's capitulating. She's capitulated to Trump, and she does it under the guise, again, of being this harmless old white woman. People are tired of being lied to by this woman, and they're tired of being sold out.
Baby, Miss Susan Collins, girl, you are in danger, Senator. You're in danger. I tried to cut the ribbon, and it just didn't go well.
Yes, they should get in their face. Yes, they should tell them that they're disagreeing. And the next thing needs to happen is they need to vote her out. I don't understand how this woman has been in office this long, capitulating as much as she has.
I loved every single minute because that's what she deserves. Susan Collins of Maine could have ended her career, an absolute Republican legend, but instead she chose to kowtow to Donald Trump and his policies. She chose to betray her constituents. She chose MAGA over America, and we will never forget.
When our representatives aren't doing what the hell they're supposed to do in the moments that count, you vote their ass out. That's how you make America great again. Now over in Philly, their DA, he's fighting back against ICE, trying to invade their city with Trump policy. They're drawing the line.
If you have people coming in, military, ICE, whoever it is, acting beyond their legal authority, they're committing assaults that are illegal, homicides, that are kidnapping people. They're engaging in unlawful restraint, which is a crime in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. They can be prosecuted, assuming they commit crimes, and they cannot be pardoned by the president, which means they get to tell a Philadelphia jury exactly why it is that they thought they could invade this city, and they get to bear the consequences, whether they are handcuffs, a jury trial, or a jail sentence.
This man is looking to police any ICE person that violates any state statute, law, whatever. If you come there and you will break the law in the dischargement of your duty, Philly DA is going to prosecute the shit out of you. And this is what should be happening in all the cities where ICE is at. Go ahead, when they break laws and break people's windows and break into people's houses, they should be arrested. And about goddamn time somebody stands up and does some shit about it.
Thanks to tax cuts and higher wages.
Higher wages? For who? For you? Cost of living is higher than it's ever been.
Give a few remarks and then I'll be happy to take your questions.
Oh,
start telling the truth.
Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying.
And voters are hitting liars where it hurts in the town halls, calling out Ashley Henson, making sure these politicians can't hide behind the camera and pretend that everything is fine. But they're going to do it because they're all in on the scam. They're all in on this. And we have got to go to these places, and we got to meet them right where they are. We have to scream in their face, and we have to let them know the displeasure. Because right now, they're hiding behind Trump. I have a strange feeling that the reason why they seem unfazed by this is because, again, they are going to stand behind Trump's attempt to basically rig voting. And we have to be ready for this. We have to stand up for this. The good part is when people fight, sometimes the people win. And that's why you saw special election wins in Georgia and Iowa. Proof that when we show up, we refuse to sit out, we can beat them at their own rigged game.
Hold up. Iowa. Not overnight you flipped the Republican seat to Democrat. Hold up. Okay. I ain't see that one coming, y'all. I ain't not see that one coming.
Now, this is something they don't want us talking about. There was special elections held today, and the Democrat, Caitlin Dre, she won Iowa, breaking a Republican supermajority in Iowa. There was also a special election in Georgia, District 21, and Deborah Shigley won it by 39.5%. Now, her and the Republican candidate will go through a runoff in September, but look at the top two Republicans' numbers in comparison to the Democrat. This county, this district has been under Republican rule for decades. You see, this is what happens when voters show up to the polls to fight for their democracy.
If everybody would go and vote Democrat, register to vote, if everyone who is eligible, age, registered to vote and then voted Democrat, you could completely wipe these Republicans out. Yes, there are that many people that are sitting out in these elections that are causing it to go this way because they don't think that their vote counts. But I'm going to say this shit again. Your ancestors died, were beaten, hosed, sick dogs upon them, all kind of things, all for your right to vote. And they're trying to take that right away, which means at the power of the ancestors, it is your responsibility to get off your ass and go ahead and do what your forefathers, what our ancestors did for us, the sacrifices they made. If you fucking sit out because you think that, oh, it doesn't matter, they're the same, they're not the same.
I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of foreign leaders. I've had a chance. What's the general? They're laughing behind his back. That did not happen. I'm making this clear. Do not conflate what I just said with the meeting I had with the Denmark delegation. No, it wasn't them. Other foreign leaders are laughing. I've had dozens and dozens. Ambassadors met with him. What are they saying? They're laughing behind his back. He's being played everywhere. It's an embarrassment.
Donald Trump is the laughing stock of the world, the butt of all jokes.
Trump promised to make America great again. And what black people have said is that, when was America great? It's never been great. It's always had a history mired in slavery, racism, genocide. It's always been a country that has been at war with itself, with others. We have people who don't love this country. They just want to make money off of this country. So this is what I mean when I say that Trump's America isn't great. It's a chaotic mess. From mass shootings to economic lies, from healthcare failures to international embarrassment. It's nothing but disorder and pain for us that live in this place. And the people feeling it the hardest are folks like us. Now let me end on this. Chaos doesn't last forever. It looks powerful in the moment, but people see through it. We've seen through it as black people. And when we organize and we vote, and when we speak the truth, we can cut through the lies and make sure that this shit ends with him. But it's going to take every able-bodied voter to register, to fight for their right to vote, and to get out and do that shit, no matter what. They're going to make it harder for you to vote. But this is what the ancestors fought for, and this is what the fuck you have to fight for. Stay vigilant, stay engaged, stay revolutionary.